Returning in League of Legends after 10 years, a game that once stole my sanity, my sleep schedule, and possibly my social life. Countless hours spent grinding in solo queue and getting called really nice scores for it. And now, after 10 years, I decided to come back. So, what's the modern League of Legends experience feels like? Especially to someone that hasn't played for a really long time. If you started playing League of Legends around 2011, then this is what you have in mind. Back then, I was amazed with the gameplay of League. You had a really good amount of different champions to choose from with a really nice variety of different moves and playstyles to try out. Complexity wasn't exactly what characterized League at the time. Sure, there was things to learn like how to last hit, how your champion works, how to itemize, but all in all, it was a straightforward experience. You get your lane by declaring it first in the champion select and then get denied because you aren't first pick and play what's left. You would most likely play top, bot or mid. Jungle was the least favorite role at the time because it was hard to play and not really that fun compared to a regular laning experience. And you also had support, which no one wanted to play, and when you were forced to play it, it wasn't fun because you don't kill things you support, I guess, but yeah. So, you went to your lane with a teammate or alone, fight with the enemy champions, destroy some towers, fight the dragon, and if you really felt you wanted to do something different, fight Baron and win, or lose. But of course I never lose.
Defeat.
It was a simple but fun experience. You could make it even better by teaming up with friends and put your friendship into a real test because they had 10 deaths by minute 10 and somehow blamed it on you. I played a lot of League back then and continued playing until right about season 5 to season 6, right when the map changed, which I have to say I prefer the old map. It was better, it was much more immersive, magical. Just look at it, look how cool it was, and the sounds of the map and the changes for Christmas events or the night version of the Summoner's Rift, it was just amazing. But it's not like the new map was bad, it just lacked personality in my opinion. All around though, it's still a good map and cares for competitive play, which I understand, and it's supposed to be made with high visibility in mind, and I appreciate that in a competitive game. All around, for how fun League was, it was equally frustrating and time consuming. So I decided to stop playing. League was taking over my life, so I decided to stop playing, and because I have to also study. And so I did for 10 years. 10 years being link free. I actually did it, boys, like. But I decided to come back. So what made me come back to play League of Legends again? Well, to be honest, like many other people, it was Arcane. This series was so good that made me want to check out the game after 10 years, and believe me, I never thought I would actually be playing again. That, and also my friend just pestered me to play League of Legends every fucking day. So how different is League of Legends compared to 10 years ago? Believe me when I say that modern League is 10 times more complicated than what I remember. New champions, new jungle monsters, 6 different dragons? Like seriously? 6 different dragons? And you have a final boss dragon at the end called Elder Dragon? Something called a Rift Herald in the place of the Baron goes. 6 different void grabs? Like void grabs that they spawned before even the Rift Herald, and they spawned 2 times for some reason. There are a lot of changes in the jungle especially. Even champions I used before felt completely different. Like, let's take for example Mordekaiser. Almost all of his moves are different now than what I remember. Like, imagine my surprise when I press R and got transported to Brazil. Or Warwick, which apart from the visual upgrade had all of his moves changed, and apparently his ult isn't point and click anymore. As I understand, the new League has more in terms of skill expression than the older League. You have way less point and click moves, and it makes sense because you want to have skill expression in your game. But I have to say, why does every new champion I encounter has a sort of dash or insane mobility? Like seriously, my first encounter with Ambessa was her dashing 15 times in a row and killing me in 2 seconds. Or champions have some really insane moves like Set's W, which gives him a big shield and one-shots you. Like, why does this exist? Or Mel that can reflect any projectile back to the attacker, but also it can block attacks, and this is apparently a move that is fair and balanced, and she also has an execute. Yeah, I don't really like Mel that much. Needless to say, my experience with League was overwhelming. There was so many new things to learn that I felt like I was playing a different game. Like I was playing the game for the first time, even though I played for years before. So my performance was, how to say it, a bit sad. I really couldn't for the life of me get used to playing like I used to play before, because the playstyle I had doesn't exist anymore. Back then I played a lot of ADC and top lane, and that got me up to mid gold, which isn't impressive, but for me back then it meant that you at least knew what you were doing, like it was decent, so to say. But you have to understand other divisions like Iron or Emerald didn't exist back then, so it was actually a bit higher than that. It meant that you at least kinda knew what you were doing. So I thought I would be able to get a similar rank. Yeah, I should have known. I didn't even know there was a rank under bronze, as I said Iron. But I was sure I can get out easily and climb up to silver at least. Yeah, that didn't really work as I expected it to work. There was so much I didn't know, so I always ended up losing most of my games one way or another. Lack of knowledge was the thing that I lacked the most, so I started playing more and more. I focused on the top lane as it was the most familiar to me, and my old main, Renekton, was unchanged, so I could at least know how to play my champion. Thus begins the climb from the pitch of iron, playing Renekton. My first games were rough. Yes, I still knew what I was doing with my champion, but I still didn't know what most other champions did. As a result, I died many times from abilities I didn't even know existed. So as you understand, I had to practice, and that meant playing a lot of games, and believe me, I did. I tried a lot of different champions with various amounts of success, and although I didn't necessarily want that much more, I started dying less. I could tell I was improving. I could recognize when enemy champions wanted to do an ability, and I played accordingly. So, feeling good about myself, I decided to try a new role. I decided to try jungle. Now, jungle is something I rarely played in the past because it was so intimidating, and now it's even more complicated. So you could say that I didn't really do that good. I tried playing Lee Sin, but being so new at the jungle, I did horrible. My clear was slow, my items were wrong, and I always lost the objectives. So as a result, I lost most of my games. Mind you, these were mostly normal games, until I get the hang of it. I wasn't feeling Lucid, so I tried Vi. I did a bit better with her, but still my fundamentals about the game were lacking. So you may ask, why did I continue playing jungle? Honestly, that was the reason. I sucked at jungle. Being bad at it means I can get better at it and have a huge impact for my team. And also the champions for jungle seem so cool to me. I tried Master Yi, Volibear and Kayn. And I have to say, Kayn and Volibear were really fun. I started looking at guides for jungling, and little by little I got better. My clears were faster, my ganks were successful, and now I didn't lose every objective, at least sometimes. My jungle era was here to stay, and that solidified when I found myself as a champion in the game. Yes guys, this is me. Look, Viego. This champion I randomly encountered when I was playing against him, and believe me when I say I haven't been so perplexed before seeing a champion. Like, imagine my surprise seeing him killing me, turning into me, and killing my whole team. Yeah, Viego is insane, and his passive is one of the most fun things I have ever seen in the game. And even with my limited knowledge of the champion, if I got research in a fight, I was unstoppable. And for those that don't understand, essentially when you damage or kill an enemy, you can turn into him, and that means you turn into him completely. You can use all of this champion's moves, and you have his items. You cannot use your ultimate, but your ultimate refreshes, and you can use it again. Yeah, Viego is insane. Needless to say, I wanted to master Viego, so I tried playing a lot of games with him. Some went well, some not. I realized the strengths and weaknesses of the champion, like in team fights without frontliners, unless I'm really fed, I can really get easy picks. I need to take my time and engage at the right time, because Viego is really squishy. So I grinded a lot of games on him, and although I did get better playing Viego, my jungle fundamentals were still lacking. I was still behind in CS, my ganks were successful some of the times, and I always ended up being lower level than the enemy jungler. And I realized that I have to learn how to play jungle the proper way. So I looked up some guides, looked up some tips, and essentially what this amounted to is I need to stop playing for my team and start playing for myself and carry the game. So I start the game, I full clear, top pings me because they are already losing. I ignore them. I clear again. I go towards my strong side. My strong side means the lane that does the best. I'm up essence from the enemy jungler because the enemy jungler is ganking all the time. And suddenly, I was able to win games. Not one game, not two games. I went into a massive winning streak and I was carrying games with Viego. All of this just by farming well and doing good decisions, like not ganking a losing lane. Many new junglers like me decide it's better to gank a losing lane because they feel pressure because their teammates are telling them, no, gank the lane that's winning, or if you find an easy pick. And that honestly got me up to bronze 2. So I realized it's not enough just to do decent. You have to carry, you have to do really well, and that I started doing, and I have to say it's been a really fun experience finally being able to climb a bit more. So my experience with League after so many years, so it was overwhelming but really fun. Sure, I am bad at the moment, but compared to when I started playing, I'm miles better, and improving and climbing is all I want to do. Being bronze just motivates me even more. My goal for now is to reach my old rank, which is gold, which will be tough at the moment, but I think it's totally viable because I changed my mindset, so I think I will be able to reach it very soon. So, as a conclusion, how does Modern League feel for a returning player? Honestly, apart from being overwhelmed in the start, it's a lot of fun. You have a lot of new champions to catch up to because there's 165 champions at the moment. So thanks for watching the video so far. If you did, there's a really big thanks for watching it. This is my first time doing League of Legends content, so if you like it, drop a like or subscribe or things like that. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.